Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel every day in the month of October. It chooses the horror movie, and they discuss it. Today, we are talking about Halloween Kills, which was directed by David Gordon Green and was released today on Peacock and in theaters. I am your co-host, Alec.
I'm Eric.
Dude, this is the first time we've ever done something like this, where we watch it, the day it comes out, the episode comes out.
Okay, hold on. Before we get into it, anyone listening, this is going to be spoiler city.
Oh, yeah.
Just want to give, this just released today. We just want to give the heads up. We're going to talk about everything. So tune out now if you don't want to hear anything and want to watch it. Just heads up. We did that. Okay, got that out of the way. This is our bread and butter. This is our bread. And we've been talking about this episode since we started this wheel last year. And this movie was supposed to come out last year.
Yeah.
And oh man, the wait has been crazy. So I'm going to start with this. What did you think?
I really liked it. Really did. Upon first viewing, all right, so this, just a little context here. I watched this at until 3 a.m. last night. I woke up, went to work, and here we are. So I haven't had a lot of time to think
Digest.
about it. I haven't looked anything up, so I don't. But anyways, I really liked it. First impressions, I still prefer 2018 Halloween a little bit, but I think this was a very good sequel. It's like the Empire Strikes Back, where it sets you up for the conclusion really well.
Mm-hmm.
They put the gore, they turned that up to 11. Holy shit. But dude, first impressions, definitely liked it. What about you?
I liked it. I didn't love it. I loved the 2018 Halloween. That was probably my favorite theater experience of all time for me. I love that experience with you in the Alamo. It was just an awesome time. But like you, definitely not the same theater experience I had watching Halloween 2018. I started this at 5 a.m. Before work. I'm upset I had to watch this on Peacock. It deserved to be watched in a theater, and I'm going to watch this again. I'm going to try to watch it in theater. My dog was going absolutely bonkers this morning. The whole flashback scene at the beginning, I had to pause it a couple times to take Miley out, and it was just kind of killed my zoning into it. But yeah, I really did like it. I didn't love it, and I think my theater experience had a lot to do with it. But like you said, the violence was up to 11, and it felt to me like more of a filler episode of DBZ or something, where the androids meet some random person in the city and they don't go anywhere with the story. Jamie Lee Curtis, love her. She cashed a very easy check for this movie. I'm sure she's got under contract for all three, but yeah, those are my initial thoughts. I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna probably like it more the second time. I'm such a big fan of the 2018 one, where I know all the little ins, and I probably watched that 30 or 40 times. At the beginning, when Hawkins is it needs to die, it brought me back to when Loomis on the tape was saying it needs to die. Also, we talked about that in the podcast. That wasn't Donald Pleasance's voice. That was comedian Colin Mahan voicing Loomis. So I just want to touch upon that real quick. But anything else you want to just get into it in order? Any funny thoughts you want to talk about first?
I like how you just mentioned Loomis, and I wanted to ask you what you thought of what they did. I don't think that was CGI. I'm pretty sure that was a younger actor. I think
that was CGI. That was absolutely CGI. Yeah, that was like a deep fake of some kind.
Oh man, dude, they're getting so good. I was like,
I will say this though, the voice I didn't love as much as the tape recording in 2018. Yeah. I thought there's one. I think what word was it? He was like, "Did he kill again? Again?" Yeah. I was like, "Again? What's again?" Really heavy on that again. But one other thing I was thinking about while watching this, I saw this meme. I think it was last night of Johnny Knoxville. I don't know if you've seen him recently. Yeah. He's gray hair now. It's why is Johnny Knoxville slowly turning into Jamie Lee Curtis? And my mind kept thinking of Johnny Knoxville stabbed, going into the hospital, being in this movie. I don't know why I thought that. It just made me laugh. I knew you'd get a kick out of that.
That's so random. Well, let's jump into the movie then. So, So it starts off basically. I can't remember the first shot. Is it already in 1978?
It's Cameron walking down the street and calling Oscar.
That's right. Okay, so you were right. They do that. Fucking Hawkins is alive. I can't believe it.
That's probably the biggest reach. There's one more. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I will, but that was one of the biggest reaches in this film. Yeah.
I'm okay with him being around, like, that's fine, like, I like him. I was upset when he got killed or I thought he got killed in the first one, so it's good that he's back.
He didn't get killed.
I know, I know.
No.
I love how Cameron runs up to him, though, and he's like, "You're gonna be okay," and he's just like, "Help, help." It's like, "Dude, take out your fucking cell phone."
Well, this is something so Cameron in 2018 was more of, like, not a bad guy, but, like, he was drunk.
He's a douchebag.
He was a douchebag and he not cheated, but you know what I mean, like, hooked up with some girl on the dance floor drunk and threw Allison's phone in, like, the pudding or whatever the hell whatever the hell that was,
Yeah,
like, at a school dance, and then she runs away without a phone, and this movie doesn't have he's a bad guy, so if you watch this
right.
without watching the first one, you think this kid's, like, awesome, like, saved a cop off the
Mm.
bat, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. That actually makes me think of something. So, one thing I did not like about this movie is so much exposition, dude. Like I feel like they had to catch
Mhm.
everybody up. They're like, last time on every Michael Myers movie ever, this is what it's like, dude. If you're already this far in, you better have seen all the other ones because. But I did feel like there's a lot of pandering.
It moved at least.
It did, but I'm also kinda like, did we need so much explanation from so many different characters about what had happened in the previous movies? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just thinking all the time, like, do we need to see Oscar dead again on the fence? Do we need to see his mom comes find him at the morgue? You know, like,
See, I liked that.
but, like, that's just off the top of my head, like, did we need it though? No, but
Well, no, yeah, I mean, there are things that, like I guess for me, it's like, for them to explain the previous films, like, in detail, it would be like if you're watching Lord of the Rings and they're talking about, "Remember when we all met
yeah.
in Rivendell and we all did this?" It's like, yeah, well, that's why we're here because we saw the last
We
ones.
don't need Hawkins like, "I was there that night." It's like, "We know you were there that
I
night,
know.
Hawkins. You know, we were here last movie."
Felt like they were kind of like, "All right, listen, like, we know that most like, 75% of the people seeing this movie are gonna be huge fans, but for the 25% that got dragged with their boyfriend or girlfriend who don't know what's going on, let's,
Well, I
cater
think
to
that's for, like,
them."
if I was to watch it with Shannon, that I need that stuff. She's like, "Who's that guy? I don't remember that." It's like, "No, remember Hawkins? He was there that night. Like,
I
remember?"
know,
Like,
I
so
know,
it
I
it is important to have if you're watching it with someone who doesn't really remember and isn't as crazy as a fan as us.
I know,
Um
but yeah. Oh, okay, so then other thing, first thing I noticed, which I was like, "Oh, man, I think they're gonna get into my theory." So, did Michael just disappear in the beginning when he was walking into that fence and young Hawkins was like, "Freeze," and he just, like, teleported?
It felt like that was a little reach too, where he literally, like, it felt like a jump cut
Yeah,
more than anything, but I don't think so. I think it's like the classic, he's there, he's not there. I don't think that
right.
was a supernatural, like, teleporting thing. Yeah, so that flashback scene is where we go from, Hawkins getting saved by Cameron, then we go in the flashback scene. They did an awesome job.
Dude,
Awesome job. It felt like the '70s. It felt
yeah.
like we're back in the film. It had, like, a blue tint. I don't know if you
Mhm.
noticed that, but it
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like that is how the film was. They did a great job recreating the house. Like, remember the booby trap and the dead dog? It's like they're not cutting corners. They're making sure everything's legit. Yeah, I will say this, the cops were also super casual like that, like, "Okay, so, like, you go that way, you go this way," and it's like, Mikey and I were, like, childhood friends." It's like, "No, no, no, you guys need to get to the house right now,
Yeah,
like, we
I
need to."
know.
Like, they act like and then he sees, like, blood footprints, like, when he stares out the window, but they had to set up that scene, and we'll get into
Okay.
that in a little bit, but, he sees, like, blood footprints, and it's, like, no big deal, but yeah.
Okay, this is gonna jump a little bit to the end, but it pertains to what we're talking about right now. So, basically, in the 1978 flashback, we see Michael getting stopped by, like, 20 cops. They've all got their guns on him, and
Mm.
so that whole thing, and he gives up, basically, which was weird to see. But then it kind of hurts later in the movie because it basically says he's an unstoppable evil force. No matter what you do to him, you can't stop him. So I was like, well, then why the fuck would he have given up in 1978? Doesn't matter. There's just as many cops there as there were the people in 2018. So it's like, why did he give up?
Maybe they explain it later. Maybe he needs to hit pause and he looks ahead to the next night, the next 40 years from now.
Hmm.
There's that line like he was always looking past the wall into this night. He knew
Mm.
this night was coming. So maybe he's hitting pause on the killing spree and gonna save it for the next.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe he needs to like the fear of his lore needs to like give him more power and strength. Oh shit, maybe.
And they really doubled down with Hawkins too, killing his partner. Terrible shot, like Harry from Dumb and Dumber. Like, I mean, like, move, go around him. Like, Michael has, like, go to the left of Michael and shoot him. I don't know. That was just silly.
There were so many moments in this movie where I was like, "What the fuck are you
Yeah,
doing?"
there's a
Where they
lot more in this movie than the
Yeah.
last.
so many, like, putting the pitchfork down, dropping the shotgun,
Yeah.
like, every weapon that somebody had, they would just put it on the ground. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Lot of bad decisions, but I will say this too, it was kind of pleasant seeing Donald Pleasance again. I thought for a second Michael was gonna kill Loomis, and that was gonna be, like, a surprise, but I'm glad they didn't do any of that nonsense, or he shot himself, Calkins, moving the gun away from him, I don't know. After the flashback scene right at the flashback scene, there's that childhood shot, the big pan out up into the sky, down at
Yeah.
Michael, like, it was like
Mhm.
the him in the clown costume when he was a kid, the same shot.
Oh,
Did
right.
you notice? It was awesome. Yeah, and his parents were like, "Michael?" And, like, take the clown mask off
Yeah,
him. So I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, that's fan service, dude. That's fan service."
Mm.
Loved it.
That's good fan service, and
Yes.
let me give you an example of bad fan service in this movie. When what's his name? Becker or Beckett, Annie's father? Where he's the security guard in the hospital?
Yeah.
When he points the gun at Michael and he goes, "Michael, everyone's entitled to one good scare on Halloween." I was like, "Alright."
Yeah, that was a little corny, and then also Lonnie when he's like, "The boogeyman." Like, there was, like, a little bit too much boogeyman going on too. Yeah,
But
and let's
yeah.
go right after the flashback into unless you wanna talk about anything else in the flashback.
No, no, no.
I was gonna say the next thing was the pumpkins.
From the intro?
Opening intro. So I'm like, "Oh, it got the alien treatment where it's not one pumpkin, it's a bunch of pumpkins," you know?
I feel like it was the town.
That's what I thought too. It was like the
Yeah.
town folk turning into mob monsters, and Michael
Mm.
in the back watching it all as the main pumpkin.
This is the first horror movie that I can think of that feels like it has a social commentary going on in the movie. That's not just about like, a murderer killing people. It felt like this was about fear and what
Mhm.
fear does to society. And I don't know if they were talking about like coronavirus or the vaccine or maybe, the George Floyd protest last year. Like, I don't know what they were trying to hit, but I think it was about like when we have an enemy, if we don't fight that enemy, we're gonna fight each other.
Yeah, I mean, there was one scene when the mob was happening and Jamie Lee Curtis, Lori goes, "You're all sheep, like, going after this guy. It's not him, you sheep," that she
Yeah,
says. So it's like, okay, that I can see where that can come into play in today. It's also a microcosm too, because this is such a Haddonfield feels like such a small town where
right.
everyone knows each other. It's like, yeah, dude, it's insane.
But you know what I mean though, where it didn't feel just like a straight slasher, it did feel like they were trying to put a deeper, like, subtext into it?
Yeah, I felt that. I just don't know exactly what it is. Maybe it'll be explained more in the next film, but I don't know if I can put my finger on it, what it was trying to be.
Well, it did feel, especially in the hospital with, Tommy Doyle, with Anthony Michael Hall leading the, like, "Evil dies tonight," and it's like the cops are just like, "Get the fuck out of here, like, we're doing this," sort of thing, and
Well, it's martial law at that point. It's just like everything goes out the door. It's
right,
it's
and
chaos, it's anarchy.
dude, yeah, and I mean, seriously, it looked kind of like the January 6th, like, where they just were rioting. They're pushing through, knocking
Yeah.
police officers down, doing whatever the fuck they want, like, so I think they were definitely trying to say something, but you're right, I don't know exactly what they were trying to, like, parallel.
And they also I mean, they do the Jaws treatment to the sheriff, like, he knew Michael got out and he should have canceled Halloween, you should have closed the beaches. I think you've said that before. They blame
Mm,
him, like, "Y we're sick and tired of listening to you. You're listening to us now, the town folk of Haddonfield. Haddonfield has had it," like,
dude, I was really disappointed with what they did with that sheriff.
I know, I wanted more. I wanted maybe next film, dude.
I know, but we said that for the last one. We're like, "Man, I hope he gets a bigger part in this one," and he does
Yeah.
get a bigger part, but it's basically just him being like, "I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing." Like, that's the whole movie is
Just,
him
like,
just basically.
watching the world burn around him and, like,
Yeah,
having no control.
I know. I will say I really like the scene where he tells Karen about, Michael being alive. I love that scene. That was in the trailer, but I
Mhm.
felt like aside from that, his character got the hardcore shaft in this one.
Yeah, and real quick about the trailer, man, they gave a lot away. So,
Really?
I felt it, yeah.
I was still shocked by a lot of stuff though, dude.
I was, but I feel like I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just felt like, man, I could predict a little bit with the trailer, I guess.
Really?
I
Dude,
could I could like, with the mob scene, I knew exactly what was happening because there's that scene of someone falling, and I was like, "That's gonna be him."
gonna be who?
The other Smith's Grove patient who kills himself.
The biggest things to me were I had no idea there was gonna be a patient that escaped that was gonna be part of it, had no idea that was gonna happen, did not know Hawkins was gonna come back. Here's the biggest spoiler of the movie, Karen dies at the end, did not see that coming.
I didn't see that coming either, no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I didn't know that a patient wasn't gonna be in it, like another patient, but once I saw him at the hospital, I remembered the trailer of someone jumping out the window, and I knew that was gonna happen.
Hmm, okay, yeah,
So,
maybe I missed that.
yeah.
What did you think of the casting for the survivors of Michael? I guess Anthony Michael Hall and Lonnie are the only 2.
Really, is it that's not the original Lonnie?
I don't think so. I don't know
Okay.
though.
Well, yeah, I think it was great. I think all the casting was great, and it was good to see, Kyle Richards back as, Lindsay Wallace. I just stuff like that I love, you know? She's gonna have a big part in the next one, I think.
She
She's
has
the
to.
only one left,
I
really.
know.
It's gonna be her and
Ah, I was really bummed when the way these characters died though. Like Marion, I was like, "Come on." And
yeah, I
then
wanted more fight from her. I wanted
I
more, but
know.
yeah, it's fine.
And Tommy was surprising, but I think my least favorite was Lonnie. I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Well, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like, hey, call for a little backup. Don't just go into that house. Like, you know where he is.
Right.
Like, so hey, like, hey, Tommy, it's Lonnie. You want to get everyone here with their pitchforks, and we'll like go together, and I don't have to
Dude,
go in this house by myself with my one crappy illegal gun.
yeah, and this isn't 1978. They have cell phones.
Exactly.
Be like, "Yeah, guys, like, we're at the house. I'm pretty sure he's here." And then, like, I love it because 'cause they're like, "Alright, kids, stay in the car. I'm gonna go handle
Mhm.
this, but if you hear anything, beep the horn." And then they hear the shotgun. They're like, "Alright, well, I guess we'll go in too and get killed." It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
just all go in together.
Yeah, but, let's go to the next scene before we keep,
Alright.
like, bouncing
Yeah.
around. So the
Yeah.
next scene cuts from, the pumpkins, and we go right to the firefighters coming to put out the house, and it's funny because we were watching the trailer, like, of course it's raining.
That's what I thought.
It
I
wasn't
know.
raining.
I know.
It made sense, the fire hose, so it's like, "Oh, shit, we didn't think of that," but
Yep.
he was hiding behind the door. Lori,
Ah.
why didn't you think about that?
But eventually it would have killed him. Eventually, the house would have
Mm,
crumbled. Well, maybe. I
I
mean,
don't know,
it would but
man,
it all would have collapsed on him eventually.
but it just shows how smart he is too.
Primal.
He's not just it's like primal survival, I guess, like,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
like a fucking alligator, dude. Like, he's not smart, but, like, he knows how to, like,
Primal, I love
survive.
that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
But you're right, yeah, he goes in that door, and that's the thing, it doesn't matter though, because like, he would have suffocated, and eventually the house would have caved in if, let's say, the fire department never showed up. But yeah, dude, they shut off the gas. They're like, "Oh, there's gas leaks." It's like, fuck, like,
Yeah,
damn
"What
it.
are you doing? What are you doing?" Yeah, exactly. I mean, Lori should have tipped them off, like, "Hey, by the way, I'm burning down my house for, like, insurance purposes, like, don't come and save it." No, he also when he was fighting the firefighters, he moved a little differently than what we're used to. Very fast, like,
Yeah.
swinging weapons, like
That was one thing I noticed in this movie. He used weapons that, like, we've never seen him use before, like a buzz saw and stuff.
yeah.
Anything, I mean, like, anything he could get his hands on.
We're so used to him using a knife and just choking people
Right,
but
he
he's
was
we do
fuck.
know he's strong, like,
Oh, yeah.
very strong, so, yeah.
So, kills all the firefighters in a really cool way. I mean, it was quick, but kills
Mhm.
them, and then just gets back to going to the town.
Yeah, then it goes to the bar, and Tommy Doyle goes on the mic to tell everyone the same boogeyman story he's been saying every year. But did you
Yeah.
notice the doctor and nurse, they were the same folks from the beginning of Michael's killing spree in 2018.
Oh,
Remember, he's like, "Oh, I left my stethoscope," like,
you're
and
right!
yeah, dude, that's them, yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't realize that till right now, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it goes from that, and then it goes to the hospital with Brackett. They moved on from the dad real quick.
Uh, I mean, they gave the one scene of her, of Karen in
Touching her
the,
ring and be like, "Oh, yeah, I was married, I forgot," like,
and it's like, "We're gonna do this for dad," and she writes on the card, "I love dad, blah, blah, blah."
"I love dad, yeah, he'll always be with us," and it's like, "Okay, done with that
Yeah.
story."
Yeah, I mean, what else can they do? It's still happening, they need more time. But once they have the funeral and stuff, but anyways, yeah, so that happens, we get to the hospital, Lori's in terrible shape, but I love how
Mm.
they're, like, rolling her down, they're like, "She's gonna survive, though, she'll be fine." And same thing with Hawkins, like, "He's gonna be also gonna be fine." They, like, say it, like, loud as they're running him down the hallway. So I was like, "Okay, so they survive." Lori then injects herself and is like, "I'm gonna go," or they lie to Lori, and they say that Michael's they're like, I guess we got him."
Everything's fine. "Yeah, we did it, mom. Yeah, you did it. Just, I'll tell you tomorrow." "Yeah, you just had major surgery. We don't want you doing anything stupid," which she does.
Yeah, give me the biggest fucking break and a half though, dude.
That was the
Like,
biggest reach. That was the biggest reach
no, no,
by
no.
far.
The biggest reach is when she knees that cop and then pushes him on the ground
Oh,
after yeah,
you're
come
not moving. You're not even twisting. You're not
no.
doing any sudden movements.
Dude, when I got my appendix out, I could barely days later get to the bathroom. Like, there's no fucking
Like
way.
literally 38 minutes after your major surgery where you're completely cut open, and we saw her cut open,
A
so
60-year-old alcoholic who's gotten her ass beat the whole night is then like, "I'm fine." I'm like, come on." But whatever, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, and then right around that time too, they show the interviews of like, "Oh, yeah, that dude killed my babysitter," and it was Julian, and then the nurse or doctor goes, "That's a little asshole kid." I was like, "Oh, that was perfect. That's all I
Yeah,
needed him in." It's like, "That's a little asshole kid from down the street."
yep.
I love that. Thank you so much for putting that in.
Yeah, I'm so glad they 100% should have brought him back, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
Not as funny as the first one either. Not really, like, any comedy moments that I
That
can
was
think of.
the only time I really laughed, I think, was
Right.
that line with Julian.
Much more serious tone, you know?
Yeah, there was a couple funny scenes. I mean, we go to the Michael's house. There's a little comic relief with that, like that couple, and like
Oh, yeah.
with the drone, and like Michael's not a drone guy apparently. Like throws the drone.
Yeah, that scene was fine, but I thought that was Michael's house, and then I was kinda like, "Oh, so that was all just fucking random and horrible murder."
Yeah, it wasn't. I thought that was gonna be. That's the thing in the trailer that tripped me up because I thought that was gonna be the Myers house.
Me too. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Little John and Big John. What'd you think of those guys?
I loved it. I felt like I just like got into season 6 of Little John and Big John. Like it was a show I've been watching for months, and I'm like, is that Stewart from Mad TV?
Oh, yeah. He's like, "Watch what I can do."
Yeah. No, I mean, they were cool. They were cool characters, but I mean, damn, why'd they buy that house? Like, you couldn't ever pay me to get in that house. Start
I
there.
know. And all the, like, stories they were telling where it's like, "We hear his sister calling for" it's like, dude, that's like that, like, could happen. Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Well, also, do you forget a cop was also killed in that house too,
Oh, yeah, yeah, exactly.
right? They forgot to mention that, but yeah.
Yeah, and how many dogs, and it's just yeah, fuck that house, dude. Uh, but so, yeah, I like their characters too. It did kinda just feel like I
Yeah.
don't know, a little bit of like a stretched out, just,
It
I
was
don't know.
comic relief a little bit, but like,
Yeah.
"I got a knife, I got a knife," and it was like a big knife and a little knife, but Little John had the big knife and Big John had the l you know what I mean? I'm trying
Yeah.
but, like, it's like, oh, Big John, more like Dead John. He got it oh god, I like some of the kills really got me, like the fluorescent light bulb, but that
Mhm.
armpit, like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
and then, like, it's like, oh, if that happens, it's like, "Dude, just kill me quick," like, and he does, he rips his eyeballs out,
Dude,
but
you know what? This movie though, man, of all the Halloween movies, I think this is the one that's, like, the slowest, most torturous kinda deaths he's ever done. Because I was, like,
Y
cringing.
yes and no. I mean, yeah, some like, you feel the weapon going into some of these people, but I think the most shocking kill is, with the nurse when she's shooting at Michael, and Michael kicks the door, and it hits her hand, and she shoots herself. I was like, "Oh,"
Oh,
that caught me, and I was like, "Oh, shit."
yeah. That could yeah, that very much surprised me too.
And then we, of course, saw the children on the swing set with the, Silver Shamrock mask, which I didn't bring this up when we did the 2018 one, but they're also in the background trick-or-treating in the 2018 one in those
Those
masks.
kids are?
Yeah, I didn't
Oh.
recognize it until the last time I watched it, but I forgot to mention that on the podcast.
Ooh, those kids are assholes, dude. That razor blade thing, I fucking believe that. I was like,
That's messed up,
"Whoa."
that's not cool, and they B&E, they go into their house, it's like, "No, you can't do that,
I know.
like,
I
now
was
I can
like
kill you." Like
I was very surprised. But yeah, so then I guess moving on, Karen stays at the hospital and there's this whole kind of like subplot where yeah, one of the other Smith's Grove patients gets mistaken for Michael and everybody's trying to kill him and that takes up a good like 15 minutes of the movie
Mm.
of just confusion and chaos at the hospital when they really all should be focusing on catching Michael as he's out killing so many people, including the whole scene with, Lindsay fucking, like, straight out of Fellowship of the Rings with the
I
Nazgul.
thought I had the same note, Lord of the Rings hiding behind a tree.
Yeah, dude, it
Yeah.
was like, when is a centipede gonna, like, crawl on her, like, shoulder or something,
I was waiting for that. Yeah, it felt like that, but, like, what happened to her? Why was she all, like, beat up? Remember, like, she's, like, on the ground, like, crawling, it's like, "You were just hiding behind a tree, like, or did you, like, run yourself to death?" Like,
I don't know, maybe the fear, dude, I don't
right?
know.
What am I like, maybe she had, like, a breakdown, I don't know.
She kinda lost it a little bit. But yeah, before we get into I wanna ask you about your favorite part, but I gotta say, a little thing that I didn't love as much as the 2018 one is the music didn't get me as much this time.
They played a lot of the same I mean, the when Michael chases Allison, in the first one, I heard that again. That's the best
Yeah.
track on the new one, but not as impressed either.
during my favorite part of the movie, that's when I think the music was the best, but I'm sure it was probably your favorite too. But let's get into it. What was your favorite part of the movie, Eric?
I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite part off the bat.
Really?
I guess when Michael goes straight up Matrix, maybe, and at the end was pretty cool. The flashback scene was probably my favorite. The whole
Mm.
sequence.
Yeah, the flashback, like, aesthetically, I think is probably the coolest to, like, look at, but, dude, I thought when Michael walks up and the mask is on the ground and she's just like, "Gotcha," and they beat the living fuck out
Yeah,
of him.
but then he goes Matrix, right? Like that whole
Right.
sequence is like,
But, dude, I rewatched it the second it ended, I rewinded right back to the part because I wanted to see what his face looked like when he pulls the mask back down, you see, like, his red eyes all fucked up, dude,
yeah,
and that scene is everything I've always wanted to see in a slasher movie.
the realness of it, right?
But, like, I've always wanted to see just the character like Jason or Freddy or
Well,
Michael or Leatherface just getting
the
shit,
yeah.
the shit, but, like, not just, like,
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 the
one hit.
living shit beat out of
Yes.
them. I mean, well, right before that, he was nailed by a pitchfork, and
Oh, yeah.
Karen also kicked the shit out of him, like, curb stomped him on the stairs, like, stair stomped him.
Right, and this is
Bad.
after everything else that's happened to him throughout the whole 2018 movie and this one up to this point, but dude, when, like, Tommy Wallace hits him and then they shoot him, like, 10 times and he goes on the ground and they keep beating him, I was like, "This is everything, this is every" I was so jazzed up, dude, I was, like, sitting up at, like, 2 in the morning just like, "Yes! Yeah," I'm like, "They're gonna kill Michael Myers, they're gonna fucking kill
They're
him
just
right
gonna
now."
dismember him. I thought they were
That's
just gonna rip him apart.
Dude, I really thought that was what was gonna happen, and then I literally felt like I was watching, like, a World Series and my team was about to win and then lost. That's what it felt like.
The other team just hit a walk off.
Yeah, and they
Like, wow.
won. Because, dude, then they as you hear Laurie and, Hawkins in the hospital, the voiceover of her
Mhm.
just being like, "He gets his power from killing, like, he is unstoppable." It's not so I'm like and then he just comes back up, I'm like, "This is crazy, dude."
Mm. That's the thing, it's a trilogy, you
Yeah,
know? So that's the crux of this movie, and did it need to be a trilogy? You know, but, yeah.
it's like,
I wasn't the biggest fan of him getting back up and just immediately killing Brackett, Tommy Doyle. And Tommy Doyle, he didn't say it, but you felt it in his eyes when he was looking at him, like, "You really can't kill the boogeyman. You
mm.
really can't." I felt him thinking that when he got up, which was cool.
Yeah, they got some splaining to do in the next one.
Wild ending, just pandemonium. But,
Yeah.
do you think Cameron's gonna be in the next one?
No.
No? I think you could, get a neck brace or some
What are you
headgear.
talking
I'm
about? This
just dude, he got wrecked. He
No.
got the most brutal, just, like, up and down this dude,
Yeah,
like,
that's what I meant by, like, torturous murder, like,
just
dude, that was
brutal. Dude, I
yeah.
was like, "Damn."
No, the person I wanna come back still is the podcaster guy. I'm thinking, fingers crossed, he still might come back.
Maybe
Who
he's in the
knows?
hospital. Maybe he's in the
Still, yeah.
hospital.
I would hope.
Let's do some predictions. What do you think? What do you think's gonna happen next? I mean, we just saw Karen just get completely torn apart by Michael at the end,
Right.
and that's how it ends.
I know, and the one thing is Lori keeps saying, she's like, "Maybe we'll see him tomorrow, maybe we'll see him next Halloween." So I'm
Yep.
kinda like, "Fuck, I don't know
Well,
what that
maybe
means."
they'll flash forward another 10 years, and they'll make everyone age a little bit, or 5 years.
That's definitely possible. I mean, it definitely is. I would think that Lori would wanna get revenge for Karen's death quicker than that, though. She wouldn't, like, wait around anymore. She's like, "Alright, now I literally have nothing." And because she even said, she's like, "I don't think he can die unless I die," sort of thing. So she's like
Mhm.
and which I don't think that's true, but, yeah, Lori put a lot of blame on herself for what happened in 1978, which feels weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think it'll be that far in the future. I think it'll
Yeah.
be maybe a year at the most.
I think Frank and Lori are definitely gonna be living together. I think
Mhm.
they're gonna have a relationship spark. You felt it in the hospital bed.
Yeah.
They're, like, kinda star-crossed lovers. But, yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be the same night. It's clearly November 1st now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not Halloween. I will say my biggest prediction is that's gonna happen. Two things. 1, he's gonna say a word or something. 2, Mr. Sandman's gonna play as the credits roll. That's
Yeah.
gonna be my 2 biggest things. We just talked about Lindsay Wallace being a bigger character, obviously filling the void from the Karen character. Karen, yeah, dying in the Myers house, like, there was just 50 people right outside, like, how'd he get up there? How did
I
Karen
know.
get up there? It was a little that was a little like, "Alright, this fizzled out." But I still think his house is going to be not a burial ground, but like a coven house or a shaman house. And I say that because Lonnie briefly mentioned, and this was in the 2018 one, that him and Allison's dad used to do peyote from a shaman.
Hmm.
And they mentioned that in the 2018 one, he mentioned that again. So that holds a little bit more significance, I think. But then he says Allison's dad was scared of his own reflection, which makes
Hmm.
me think about Michael looking at his reflection when he's looking out the window. He's not looking at Haddonfield, he's looking at himself. So I think
Huh.
we're going to go this weird shaman route. I don't know, but that's my guess. That's what I was picking up with the reflection, the window. Like, what is the window? What is the Myers house? It's like he's looking at himself. So it's like, huh, why? What does he see? Is it like a portal? Is it, who knows?
Well, this movie proves that physical force cannot kill Michael. So no matter what you do, that won't stop him. So there has to be another way
Yeah.
where if it's the same thing as like It or Nightmare on Elm Street, where it's like you
Yeah.
just can't be afraid of him anymore. If that's it, okay, well, or
There's also the line, he creeps, he kills, he goes home. Remember, I think
yeah,
Karen said that, but yeah,
right.
keep going.
No, so I think this is the next movie we're gonna have to get an explanation of, well, if we can't use brute force, how do you defeat the boogeyman? That's the question now.
I think it's not gonna be Laurie. I think Laurie's gonna die
Yeah.
next to Michael, but I think Frank is gonna put the bullet and just blow his head off with some big ass gun.
So you think Michael's gonna die in the next one?
He's gonna after it ends.
I mean, the one person who always put the claws in every film was Mustafa Akkad, and he's dead now. So if his son is like, if he gives the A-OK, he could do it.
Well, that's the deal, man. It was made to be a trilogy. The fans expect the trilogy. I think it'd be a real cheap move to do a fourth. Like, I was like, come on, stop with the filler. Like, we want to see a conclusion at this point. But these characters, we've earned it. Obviously, we've seen Laurie die in Resurrection. We don't want to see it, but
Right.
I think she's gonna die. Frank's gonna blow off Michael, and it's gonna end with them like laying next to each other or something.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just, I don't know, man. Every single Halloween movie, you always get like an eye open or something,
Or breathing in the background.
something, just to be like, well,
Yeah.
he's not done. Yeah, man. I don't know. I didn't like this as much, but I just want to say this. I think it was for a slasher movie, very different. I think the tone was darker than the 2018 one. So yeah, I don't know, man. For a Halloween movie, I thought it was pretty good. I think it was probably like a B. I'd give it like a B.
Yeah. If we were to give an A, it'd be the last one. This would be a B. Like
Yeah.
behind it, not as good. I liked it, didn't love it. I want to watch it again though.
Oh my god, yeah. That's the thing. I need to watch it a couple times, really let it sink in, pick it apart a little
Yeah,
bit more.
think about Johnny Knoxville when you watch it as Jamie Lee Curtis.
Really quick before we get going, check out the video, the CGI video that Dom made. It's on, where is it, on YouTube and Instagram now?
Yeah, it's not on YouTube, but it's on Instagram.
Okay,
We'll
so
put
we're
it
gonna
on
get
YouTube.
yeah. So our buddy Dom did this awesome CGI video of Eric and I going to our childhood theater.
Where we worked there. Yeah.
Yeah, to go see Halloween Kills, and dude, he's so freaking good, and it looks amazing. So check it out because he puts so much hard work into that.
So much
So
time into that. So thank
yeah.
you, Dom, if you're listening.
Yeah, man. Huge shout out. Well, what do you say you spin the wheel, Eric?
Oh, I'm sad it's over. I've been waiting for this episode, this Halloween Kills show for a while. So it's like, oh man. But at least
Yeah.
the Halloween Ends is next year.
Oh yeah.
Barring any COVID pandemics and shit. But yeah. Let's spin that wheel. Spinning. All right, interesting. We have another show similar to American Horror Story, Are You Afraid of the Dark? A children's Nickelodeon show. We're doing 3 episodes for this one. We are
Oh, boy.
doing The Tale of Laughing in the Dark, Tale of the Ghastly Grinner, and The Tale of the Shiny Red Bicycle. All quick 10-minute hits of each episode. Check it out. It's going to be fun.
Sweet. Yeah, no, you love that show, so.
Love it. Still watch it to this day.
Well, thank you everybody for listening in. We hope you had a chance to see this movie and you enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll definitely, I don't know, man. There's more to talk about, but we'll get there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. See everyone for Are You for the Dark tomorrow.
Woo!